United States and Australia have once again demonstrated their unwavering military alliance through the successful execution of exercise Talisman Sabre 21, the largest bilateral training operation between the two nations.
Joint partners and allies, that capability.
Held across multiple strategic locations in Australia, including the Shoalwater Bay Training Area in Queensland and the Bradshaw Field Training Area in the Northern Territory, the exercise brought together over 17,000 personnel from both nations, including soldiers from the U.S. Army's 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade.
Plus horse powered up, Jenny time starts now, this lead time starts now, 4 personnel headed back up.
This year's drills focused on enhancing integrated air and missile defense capabilities, critical to countering emerging threats in the Indo-Pacific. The exercise, which concluded last week, underscored the deepening interoperability between U.S. and Australian forces amid growing regional tensions. The locations chosen for Talisman Sabre 21 hold immense strategic significance. Shoalwater Bay, one of Australia's premier military training grounds, offers vast terrain for large-scale maneuvers, while Bradshaw Field provides a realistic environment for testing long-range strike and air defense systems. These areas simulate the complex operational conditions U.S. and Australian forces could face in potential conflict zones, particularly in the South China Sea or the Taiwan Strait. The Indo-Pacific region has become a focal point of U.S. defense strategy, with China's rapid military expansion and North Korea's missile tests presenting persistent challenges. By training in Australia, American forces gain invaluable experience operating in a theater that mirrors potential future battlefields.
Exercise that we have ever conducted and executed in Australia and in the Southern Hemisphere.
During the exercise, the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade played a pivotal role, deploying advanced systems such as the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense (THAAD) and Patriot missile batteries to simulate layered air defense operations. U.S. and Australian troops conducted live-fire drills, cyber-electronic warfare integration, and joint strike coordination, ensuring seamless communication across domains. One key scenario involved repelling a simulated missile attack, with U.S. air defenders linking real-time data with Australian radar networks to track and engage hypothetical inbound threats. Special operations forces from both nations also executed high-risk personnel recovery missions, demonstrating the full spectrum of modern warfare capabilities. Major General David Francis, Commanding General of the U.S. Army's 94th Army Air and Missile Defense Command, emphasized the exercise's importance in a statement to the press. Talisman Sabre is not just about readiness, it's about trust. Every missile intercepted, every joint operation executed, strengthens the bond between our forces and ensures we can respond decisively to any threat. Australian Defence Minister Peter Dutton echoed this sentiment, stating, "The alliance between Australia and the United States has never been more vital." In an era of great power competition, exercises like Talisman Sabre send a clear message that we stand united. Military analysts, such as Dr. Evelyn Nakamura from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, noted that the integration of space and cyber elements into this year's drills reflects the evolving nature of warfare. The US and Australia are not just preparing for yesterday's conflicts but for tomorrow's battles, where dominance in the electromagnetic spectrum could decide the outcome. The roots of Talisman Sabre trace back to the early 2000s, but the US-Australia military partnership dates to World War II, when American forces fought alongside Australian troops in the Pacific Theater. The ANZUS Treaty of 1951 formalized this alliance, and over the decades, both nations have collaborated in conflicts from Korea to Afghanistan. However, the focus has now shifted squarely to the Indo-Pacific, where China's assertive actions have raised alarms. The 2017 deployment of a U.S. Marine rotation to Darwin marked a significant escalation in bilateral defense cooperation, and Talisman Sabre has since grown in scale and complexity. This year's exercise builds on lessons learned from previous iterations, incorporating new technologies and tactics to counter advanced missile threats and hybrid warfare tactics employed by adversaries. From a military readiness perspective, Talisman Sabre 21 provided critical validation for the U.S. Army's multi-domain operations doctrine, which emphasizes the ability to fight across land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. The 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade's performance demonstrated that forward deployed units can rapidly integrate with Allied forces, a capability essential for deterring aggression in the Indo-Pacific. The exercise also highlighted the growing role of artificial intelligence in missile defense, with automated systems improving response times against hypersonic threats. Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Mitchell, a spokesperson for U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, stated, "The speed and precision displayed during these drills prove that our forces are not just prepared but ahead of the curve in countering next-generation threats." Politically, Talisman Sabre reinforces the Biden administration's commitment to strengthening alliances in the Indo-Pacific, a cornerstone of its national security strategy. The exercise comes amid heightened tensions with China, which has criticized U.S. Australia military cooperation as unstabilizing. Chinese state media has accused the drills of being a rehearsal for containment, a claim both Washington and Canada reject. However, the strategic messaging is clear. By showcasing high-end warfighting capabilities, the U.S. and Australia aim to deter potential adversaries while reassuring regional partners like Japan and the Philippines. The exercise also aligns with the AUKUS Pact, under which Australia will acquire nuclear-powered submarines, further deepening defense ties among the US, UK, and Australia. Looking ahead, military planners indicate that future iterations of Talisman Sabre will expand to include additional allies such as Japan and South Korea, transforming the exercise into a multilateral showcase of Indo-Pacific unity. The U.S. Army is also expected to deploy more advanced systems, including hypersonic missile defenses and directed energy weapons, in upcoming drills. Meanwhile, Australian officials have signaled intentions to increase defense spending to accommodate larger-scale exercises, ensuring their forces remain interoperable with American counterparts. As Admiral John Aquilino, commander of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, recently stated, "The work we do today in exercises like Talisman Sabre lays the foundation for a secure and free Indo-Pacific tomorrow." The success of Talisman Sabre 21 sends an unmistakable signal. In an increasingly contested region, the U.S.-Australia alliance remains a bedrock of stability, ready to meet any challenge with unmatched coordination and resolve. As both nations continue to adapt to the complexities of modern warfare, their soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder, proving that strength lies not just in firepower but in enduring partnership. This is the legacy of Talisman Sabre and the promise of a secure future for the Indo-Pacific.